Hi everyone. I'm just getting some details here. Am I live? Can someone confirm? So let's begin this with yes, things are getting better with the Helium network. I've done some tweaks on two hotspots. I changed the antennas, I changed the placement, and I want to share that with you. Now, it's not guaranteed that what I did it will work for you because there are so many variables that are different in your scenario. So, but I'm going to explain the fundamentals so you can understand how it works. So, are we live? I don't know if are we live or not. Okay, so before we show you the setup, I just want to give you some updates on the Helium Hotspot, Helium network. And there are some announcements that we'd like to share with you. Let me just find it. It was here. So as you can read here, this was just released yesterday. There's an update for the console. So this release includes an integration for Microsoft Azure. So this just requested an integration with console based on feedback from their customers. In addition, the team made usability updates based on community feedback. So the performance update, which is, as mentioned in the previous post, network performance has suffered due to the exponential growth of the network. As you might know or might not know, the number of hotspots that gets deployed are over 5,000 a day, and sometimes less, sometimes more. In the last month, I think we're hit around 51,000 in 1 month. So I know 5,030 is way more, but that was, I think, the highest. But we should expect more and more. Now, once these get deployed, the network will suffer because it's getting deployed all over the world, not just in one city, not in one country, not one continent. And therefore, the more that gets deployed, some new stuff just show up. And therefore, you have seen a decline in your number of HNT rewards. So this could be a nice fix. And there's the POC 11 that's coming in 10 days. I kind of looked at it. I haven't studied it yet, but it is supposed to kind of challenge one thing, which is two things, but mainly the geographic spoofing. So people that are cheating in the system, this will identify them. Now, one thing that you have to consider in the city you're in, or the province or country, there are some kind of regulations for what kind of antenna you can use. That being said, I'll mention Europe because Europe, I think, is one of the strictest. It's not strict, it's limitation. So you can use up to 3 dpi, if I'm not wrong, or 4. I have to double check on that. So make sure before you update your antenna, you make sure that you abide by the regulations in your country. I know in the US it's 9 dpi. Let me get the questions over here so I can see them. Hi, Noor. Wasn't the DPR router added to the network? POC will affect earnings to DPI again to high. Yes. Okay. Your relay, there's a complete video, or actually 2 videos that I did regarding relay. Relay is a simple, very simple issue. It's in your router. All you have to do is kind of assign an IP address for your Helium hotspot. So just think about it in a very easy way. You log into your router, you go and assign a static IP address for your Bobcat miner, SenseCat, whatever it is. Anyways, there's a complete video that I did. You can find it in my in the video library that I have. But it's not a big deal. You can fix it in 5 minutes. We'll have to have our dashboard info match our setup. A Studio, if you can just clarify your question. Mine was to, after the update, I just rest my Wi-Fi router and reconfirmed my IP for Bobcat. Yes. It's very simple. The video I have, it's called How to Fix Your Relay. I tried to make it universal. So regardless of what router you're using, whatever, you have to follow just the steps. It's very easy. Also, there is in the Discord a new relay network that they came up with. So the news is they're fixing these issues now, and it's actually fixed. You might see some improvements, especially that it's out and it's working. For the relay, where's it? And I prefer you guys go to the Helium Discord. There's a lot of things you can ask here in terms of hotspot issues. You can see here off-topic questions and answers, known scammers, whatever you have. There's voice chat. If you're in a country, you can go to the country that you're in, and you just the hips. Everything you think of is there. So you can show you the countries in case that you're wondering what kind of antenna you'd be able to use. You can see there's India, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Iran, Israel, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, Philippines. You go to this country and you can discuss with your fellow mates in your country, which is cool. If you're non-techie, actually, if you are techie and you want to fix your relay, there is a layout of how to solve your relay, but it's quite complicated. You go to announcement, I think, and you go to the pinned messages. No, not this one. I would say general. Yeah, you can see it here. It's posted by Jason on the 21st of September. New workflow for troubleshooting a relay miner. Click on the image and then click Open Original to see the full view. If I open it and you're not non-techie, you will be lost. So if you're techie, this is very useful. If not, I think following my video of how to fix a relay will do the job. Now, some facts about what I did with my network, with my Helium hotspot that worked. And the reason it worked because I was trying to avoid a couple or three trees. They're big, they were facing my antenna. So they did not obstruct all the signals coming out of this antenna, but they obstructed an angle. I can actually show you. Let me just show you. Bada-boom, bada-bum. See, we can see here 54,000 were deployed in the last 30 days. So the network is crazy. It is stable. It's the team that are working really hard. So kudos to the Helium community and team. Now, why do I care about this? Because you have to understand the concept, because my scenario might be different than yours, right? So, but I want to show you how the signal works. So if you guys see, I'm supposed to have all of this, a lot of these rays of signals, but I'm missing this here, this angle, it's gone. And this is caused by two trees. So mine is not reflected yet. So first case, going from 7 dpi to 5.8 dpi. 5.8 dpi gave me better results. It actually, the 7 DPI overshooted these two here. It just went far. While the 5.8, it connects to close, then it grows bigger and bigger. So in my scenario, 5.8 is doing fabulous. Now, the reason this is still not showing, I think the Explorer needs to be updated. You can see my performance since I think, was it? So I dropped, so I started with a 2.6 DPI, and this was my performance. This was my performance, 2.6 DPI. I put the 7 DPI. Now, the income was good, but then I was overshooting the close ones. And with the POC 11, if I understand it right, I haven't read it fully. Oh, sorry, there's a lot of questions. Okay, thanks. When deploying so many hotspots once affects the plugin, why not run a sidechain? Similar update to that studios affect the agility that can be earned. It does set limit to be released. I understand. Well, yes. I'll be covering that in another video, or maybe you can talk about it really quick. Now, more Helium hotspots getting deployed. That means we're going to be sharing the same pool, right? So the 1.6 million. I know it's 2.5, but 35% goes to the founders. So we're left with 1.6. So with the number of Helium hotspots growing, that means we're all going to share the same 1.6 and 50 million tokens. So we're going to earn less. Well, it's kind of the same thing when the Helium hotspot started. The HMT token was selling for 30 cents. And people used to mine thousands of HMT daily. So, and I've seen somebody that he declared that he was selling all of his HMTs for 30 cents because he was making, I think, 1,000 or 5,000 HMT a month, or 10,000, I think, and he was selling it for 30 cents. So he was making $300, right? So, or $3,000. So we have to understand that the Helium network is still in the proof of concept. It has not, now it has gained, I don't know if you guys have been tracking with what's going on. So there are two major, or actually three major important news with the Helium hotspot. First, that Alameda has joined, or actually was interested in the Helium network and bought worth of $111 million into Helium. So that's, Alameda is huge, and they know that this is going somewhere. Now, while this Helium network is still a concept, why? Because for them, the technology was important. They found it, which is the long fi. The second step was, okay, now you have the concept. Can you get the adoption from the community to jump? They created the tokenomics and they introduced the HMT, and now it's working. Now, that's all good, but if nobody's using this network is going nowhere. So 2 days ago, I think, or 3 days ago, Sinet, which has, I think, over $1 billion, 1 billion IoTs that will be using Helium. And this was announced 3 days ago. This is a major announcement. Now, the proof of concept that, okay, we have a network is good. Alameda came in, and then they showed the interest, and they do investments. So it's in their scope, under their scope. So that's one big jumpstart. Now, Senet is going to utilize this network. And for them to utilize this network, they're going to use data credits. And that's where we're going to get it. I'm sure you can see it right here. Activity, let's see here. Or that's the data. So now once the IoTs start to use our network, that's when the income will start and the value of Helium will increase. And therefore, I assume HMT will be at a higher price. It's pure logic. I had heard earning. Well, A Studios, I'll tell you one thing. You have to believe that we own this network. It's ours. We introduced the HIPs. The HIPs are helium improvement processes. So if we all do not make money, and we have the power to change the economics, we have the power to change it. I mean, if it's not going to be feasible for people, people will turn this off. People will not buy any more helium hotspots unless it's still worth it. And therefore, once the helium was at 30 cents and people were selling it like crazy, now they regret it because it's at 15 to $25. And once this movement starts moving on, that said, I think HNT can grow way higher. Now, the halving will not have a direct impact right now, but the utilization is huge. And I'll tell you one thing. I think yesterday the 5G started to move. And trust me, if the 5G, the Freedom Fi solution, gets adopted by any GSM company, saying, yes, we will be using you guys because we have a problem with deploying 5G towers because it costs a lot. And you guys are just giving us this for free, and we don't even pay for the device. We're going to pay you for using people that use your Freedom Fi. So these three elements all tend to go to the favor of helium. Another thing that it's irrelevant, but see, the crypto overall is still kind of fragile, but not with helium, because helium is bringing a solution with a perfect economics that makes sense. There's nothing created out of thin air. The whole thing is actually made perfect. And if you guys know the founders and you know the helium community, you would feel safe in investing in this. And like I said, if you go to the Discord and join there, and you can vote for HEPs, you can vote for anything you want. So you have the power in this community, because once you believe that this is our network, helium is ours, by the way. So yeah, no, how long it has been saying relate. Once I fix my it took a day or two before relate status clear. AAA, if you go to portchecker.co, because the relate will not be removed from your app or from the Explorer right away. So portchecker.co, and then enter the port number 44158, and it will show you if it's open or not. But trust me, if you have done everything good, you don't have to worry. So let me share with you guys what I did. So here, we need some trees. So there was a tree facing my antenna right here. And see that antenna, one of the things that I've seen a lot of people do this mistake. They bend their antenna, they put it against windows that are double glassed, or against the mesh, the window bug, and this will kill your transmission and your receiving. So avoid windows. Now I'll be telling you, the whole antenna has to be vertical. All right. So these things, a lot of people do a lot of mistakes. I've seen them in the Discord. It's not necessarily you, but I'm saying, what's the perfect setup? So this antenna was here. So all these rays, like I showed you in the Explorer, I had that gap because it was hitting this tree. The rest were fine. So I was trying to check if I can avoid this tree. The only way I can avoid it is by elevating it and make it on top of this tree. So perfectly to say that exterior antennas are the best. It's not for everyone. It's an investment, so I'm not going to include it in this example. So for me to put it here, and this is we'll consider it as an attic. And in Ottawa, Uh, it depends what type of attic. So mine doesn't have bricks. It has another type. I forgot what it's called. But I was like, let me try. Well, actually, this is not my first attempt. My first attempt with the 7.8 DPI. I attached it. I taped it against the window, so with no base, and I put it right on top, right at the top, and I could not pass this tree because I can see the tree is still in front of it. So what I did, or actually, let's say was downstairs because this is an attic. So I thought if I put it in the attic will kind of kill my signal. But I said, let me just give it a try. I'll give it a 2-day trial. So it's been 24 hours and it has doubled. So what I did, I put it in the attic, and actually I didn't put it close to anywhere. My spot was here, about 5 meters. However, when I did this, you have to consider that where is your helium hotspot? Because my helium hotspot, I had to bring it up here as well. Now, because I'm getting far away from my internet, I had to get a stronger internet. So you can get a router, you can get a router or repeater. So mine was right here, and now I had to move mine all the way here. So the distance, ideally, is between 3 to 5 meters. More than that, you need to have a repeater. Now, a lot of things come in, like a lot of variables. So if it's concrete, 5 meters probably is the max. If it's like a wooden house like mine, it can go up to 7 meters, 8 meters. The way you can check it, you can use your iPad or phone and see the signal next to the hotspot. If you're receiving a low signal on your phone, like 3 dashes instead of 4, then maybe get the router to get it closer. Just make sure that this connection between the router and your hotspot is between 5 meters max if it's concrete. If it's wood, 7 meters. If not, just get a repeater. Now, the same thing with the antenna. If you're going to have an antenna with more than 10 feet to 15 feet, you'll have to consider cable loss, and that will affect yours. So what I did is I just got a stronger one. I put it higher, so I reduced the distance between the router and the helium hotspot, and I reduced the distance between the hotspot and the antenna to 3 meters. So this way, I don't have any cable loss. I get strong signal from my router to my hotspot, and from my hotspot to my antenna. Now the antenna is the higher the better. Now, in case you have soundproof windows and double glazed windows, mesh, whatever it is, you can try to tape it against the wall. If it's a dry wall, and from the back there's no bricks. So dry wall, and in the dry wall, if there's no electricity whatsoever, no cabling, no nothing, this can work. But again, this is not. There's so many variables that can affect this. So what kind of wall it is, if there's electricity. I see the IP change in the dashboard. So my earnings have doubled. I don't know if the updates that came to the Helium have some impact. It could have been, but whatever I did and that you can do is absolutely harmless. It can either do you benefit or just the same. Now, the 7 DPI and 8 DPI, I think they will be impacted by the POC 11. They're saying that they're going to suppress the antennas with according to the regulations of the countries. So before you purchase any antennas, you need to ask the community in the Discord. But I know for sure that there are some regulations that is coming to this. So what else do you want to cover? Yeah, the tweaks is I got I get higher and more powerful internet. I get closer to my, because what I did, this placement was here, and my Helium hotspot was here. So what I wanted is elevate my antenna as to the highest point I can in my house. So I have an attic, and I put the antenna here, not next to the window because I could not reach. I only had to open the attic and place it right here. So at about 3 meters, and it worked. So that's the good stuff. But now because the antenna is far, the hotspot is far from the antenna, I had to bring it as close as possible to the antenna. Up to 3 meters, 4 meters is good. So I did that. But now the internet is far. So I tested the signal from my hotspot, and the signal was low. So I need fast internet that comes to my router, to my hotspot. So what I did, I called up Rogers. I got, instead of 50 megabytes, I got 500 megabytes, and I got stronger antenna, stronger router. So, and I brought it up a little bit. Now the connection between the router and the Helium hotspot is optimized, and the connection in terms of cable loss between the Helium hotspot and the antenna is optimized, and now the antenna is at the highest elevation point I can reach to. That's the tweaking. So for me, I have to go as high as possible, but I can't be far away from my Helium hotspot. So I brought in the Helium hotspot closer, and then I upgraded my internet and router and brought it even closer. So I'm keeping that distance of 3 to 5 meters from router to Helium, and from Helium to antenna is 3 to 5 meters. So, and the thing is, in an attic, it worked. I don't need window. And I thought this will not work. But because my whole point was to overcome the tree that was obstructing the signals, that's the tweaking part. So the tweaking part is I move the whole setup and make sure that all the distances are still the same, if that makes any sense. It doubled. So I can show you here. So today I just installed the internet. So this is the 24 hours. This is when I moved it, 7 p.m. last night. And things just was going up, going down. But you can see 0.4, while I used to make around 0.2. So it's double. Now, I'm not saying it's because of this just setup. It's because also the improvements in the Helium network. But like I said again, those tweaks will not harm you whatsoever, because what you're doing is you want to overcome the obstructions and just go as high as possible. Now, I thought for some point the attic will hurt me, but I thought I'll give it a try. In my case, because there's no bricks in my roof, that helped. But if there are bricks, that will definitely harm you. But in case if it's a new house that has soundproof windows, whatever, like there are windows that comes in with white plastic in the center, that can harm too. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, I just wanted to tell you that, hey, the main thing is your antenna having a line of sight with the network. To achieve that, elevation is important. Have it exterior is better than interior. If interior is your only way, then you have to place it the highest point in your window. So you have a window, just put it as high as possible and tape it. If the window is double-sided, soundproof, or has these white plastics that's in between the glass, it will obstruct your signal. So what do you need to do? It's either you go to your attic uh, if you have bricks, then instead of your attic, you just attach it to your drywall right here. You place it here, take it to the top, make sure that you test that there are no electricity behind this drywall, and there are no bricks from the back. Like the exterior are not bricks. If it's a thin layer of bricks, it will be fine. But if they're big bricks, that will actually hurt you. So these are what you need to do. So main thing, elevation. I've seen a lot of people place their antenna um, on their um, on their dining table. They place it upside down. They place it sideways. No, it has to be vertical. So that's how it is. It's just the signal. That's how it travels. Yes, there are new projects that is joining the Helium. One of them is, I think it's called Early. It's for there's so many projects. I think around 49. So last time I checked, but Early is launching, so it's ready. Well, we can see here. But guys, the Freedom Fi, if it proves that it's going to work, which is in about a week or so, and it gets an adoption from GSM companies, you will remember this day. So these are the projects that are here. This is asset tracking. So Early is ready. It's out. These guys, I think they're also out. See, now what matters is really it's overcoming these issues of the deployment and the security, and things are just moving on the right track. And if you guys talk to the people in the community, not the founders, not the Helium team, the Helium community, you would be shocked of the quality, the intelligence, the passion for this network. So we're in good hands. I can tell you that for sure. They should make a 5G adapter antenna for our current miners. They should make a 5G. No, it's a totally different technology. 5G it's really sophisticated. It's not an antenna and that's it. So I don't think that's that. I wish, but so there's a lot of stuff coming to this network. One of the things about MXC that they might be facing problems is because the antennas are so strong on the MXC, and these antennas they go up to 20 kilometers. Now, how will they deal with the regulations of RF in the countries like Europe? That's something I don't know. They can actually suppress the power, but I don't know how it will impact. So that's just a side note on MXC. So guys, I think I covered. If you guys have any questions, you need to, did your miner update a few days ago? See, once you have this setup optimized and complete, most of the time there's no need from your end to do any updates. It's all done automatically. Now, there are cases that I saw like 2 weeks ago on the 15th or 16th with my Bobcat miner. It did not do the syncing. And for you to do it manually, depending on your hotspot, you need to access the dashboard of your hotspot. Now, there are 3 dashboards. There is a dashboard for your router, and there is a dashboard for the Helium app, which we all know, and there's a dashboard for the hotspot itself. Now, if you write in Google, just write Nebra hotspot dashboard, it will give it to you. In the Bobcat Miner, the only way to access it is by going to your router and look for the connected devices. Find your Bobcat Miner and look up that IP address that is assigned for your Bobcat Miner. You take that, you paste it in your browser, and that's what you have your access to. You have to Bobcat Miner dashboard. And the way you do it is you need to check Bobcat Miner updates. So in the Bobcat Miner, the updates were in the Reddit, and that's something annoying that each hotspot is doing its own thing somewhere. Some of them Twitter, some of them Discord, some of them Telegram. I wish they all had one channel, which I think Discord can be it, but it is what it is. So, but most of the time, no need from your side to do any updates. Most of the time, 99%. And if there are any updates, you can subscribe to this channel and I will update you just in case. Or is the IP in the Helium app? Or the IP in the Helium app diagnostic. It should be the same. I've tried to help someone in the Discord. He had a weird scenario. The IP address in the Helium app was different than the one in the router. And the reason was because it was not connected to the router, and that's why he was not able to change things. So what we did, we had to erase the whole thing and start all over. So in case you encounter that, you need to make sure that the IP address is the same in the Helium app and in the router. Hey, I'm not gonna say this like that. It's not a financial advice, but like I said, if we go to, let me show you this, because I always say once you see Helium HNT going to hovering under 15, I usually buy. And the reason is, first of all, Helium will never be impacted by any regulations when it comes to crypto, because they're not doing DeFi, they're not doing some crazy stuff that are against some regulations in some countries. So whatever is gonna, so if you have, we know that all of the crypto world will be impacted heavily once the regulations come. Now, depending on the type of regulations, that will reflect the impact, right? But HNT has nothing to do with any of this stuff. That's why Uniswap is facing a lot of issues, because it's a DeFi and countries don't like this security stuff. They think it belongs to governments. And a lot of people think, oh, we need decentralization. I don't think that was going to happen now, because I don't see you can move from extremely centralized countries and systems to fully decentralized. There has to be a path from extremely decentralized to some kind of in the middle ground, and then in the middle ground we move to extreme decentralization, and this will take 4 years. So if we look, I think most of you know this chart, but see here, for 1 year, year and a half probably, from 2019 till March of 2021, the price was just going 40%, 30 cents, and people were selling thousands of HNT every month for 20 cents because everybody didn't know, is this going to work? Well, if it worked, now this, I call this the proof of concept. Is it going to work? Are the people, are they going to invest in this and buy Helium hotspots? Now, if you saw the announcement, they're expecting 1 million hotspots next year. And this year, some people say around 300, I would say maybe 350,000 to be fair. But now the proof of concept that is there a network and is there adoption by community? Is there community? Is there people buying these? It has been proven, and the network is working. Now at this point in June, that's when Alameda, or July, I think, July invested and they said, okay, we need this. I think this is going somewhere. Now, depending on the adoption of Freedom 5 by companies, like GSM companies, and the CNET News, which is an IoT that partnered with Helium. If you see this, so now the network is being utilized. It's not a network that does nothing. No, now IoTs are going to use this. So announcing Helium roaming partnership with CNET to connect billions of IoT devices. Now these devices are going to use the network. Is it free? Of course not. They need to pay for this. So paying for this, that means we will earn some money because they're using our network, and each one will get. Now, all of this will just give you a complete, structure. Once, like, think about it this way: when the crash happened in 2020 with the pandemic, the whole market plumped, except Amazon, Walmart, whatever. They said, hey, wait, guys, my sales went up 10,000x or 1,000x or whatever. I'm selling. I don't have to, I am not relevant to this market. The market, everyone was scared. Everyone was selling. But Amazon came out of the blue. He's like, guys, my sales are going crazy. So Amazon was going up while the rest is just dumping because people are using it. And in the crypto world, you're going to say that's stocks, whatever. Crypto world, Axie Infinity. I don't know if you guys know it. It's a game. During the dip in June, I'll show it to you here. So the utility of the system you're using, the network, anything you're using, if it's working and it has engagement and it's doing fine, it has nothing to do with the rest of the crypto. And that's why Helium, once the Senate is going to pay for the system and use the network, they're going to say, hey, listen, I have nothing to do with the crypto. You want to regulate it, you want to do whatever. I have a functional network that serves IoTs, and it's secured, reliable, and all that stuff. So look here. Then we have the dip, the biggest dip in May and June. Look here. This is May and June. And this thing just went skyrocketing. They don't care about what's going on because people are playing this game, people are buying the SLPs, people are selling the SLPs, and the economy is just moving. Now, these dips have nothing to do with Bitcoin. These dips were coming from competition, changing the rules of the games and stuff like that. So, look, this is May and June. They said, I have nothing to do with crypto. I don't care about Bitcoin. People are using my game. People are playing my game. So, to answer your question is, all these three elements, if they meet, each one gets accomplished, you're going to see that bump because what happened to Helium, it went from the 20, 30 cents, and then more gain of adoption by the community went to the 3, 4, and then it became stable anywhere from $9 to $28. That's the range. That's the value of the Helium and how much it should be. Now, if Freedom 5 goes in, guys, that's it. We're talking about the most lucrative business in the world. That's one thing. The IoTs are going to utilize this just like this game, Axie Infinity game. If they're going to use it and pay us, and it's becoming a fully functional network that has nothing to do with crypto. It has nothing to do with regulations. You're going to come and regulate for me for what? I'm doing nothing. I'm not doing DeFi. I'm not breaking any regulations. Now we talked in the beginning that the RF signal is going to be an issue, but I think they're going to be suppressing it from centrally, or that's what they're going to do. But for you need to look up your regulations, your country regulations for RF before purchasing anything above 12 DPI or 10 or 8, whatever the regulations are in your country. So yeah, I personally think helium this year will be hovering anywhere from the $40 to $60. More adoption, more IoTs, more of everything is just going to make it grow more and more and more. Oh my God, yes. Yeah, I was planning to do so, Miguel. It's I kind of take things in a very common sense. I'm an industrial engineer, so I have kind of understanding how things work. But yeah, definitely to test antennas. Yeah, I think it's a good idea, but it's probably for people that maybe they have multiple hotspots. That's for sure. It's needed, and complete system that will not be affected by government regulations. In the contrary, they're not breaking any rules. That's why I like to invest in helium a lot, and I wait for the dips. So if helium goes back to 13, 14, 12, I tend to buy more, and I never sell my HNT. Never sell them because it's very secure. Like I see a lot of people saying, "Well, like what's out there that's very nice." Let's say Avalanche or Kusama or FTT. Those are like my favorite. Um, they drop up and down like crazy, and I think that they have a big future. But until we see what's going to happen with government regulations, then I can buy that dip because now it's at $70, for example. With the regulations, it can drop all the way back to 10, 15, depending on the impact of that regulation, of how tough the regulations are. If they're lenient, then we would not see that bigger impact. If they're really harsh, we're going to see a huge impact on all of the crypto, most of the crypto, especially the ones with DeFi. Hi, Santa Barbara. Hello. Um, so, guys, I think if you have any questions, Santa Barbara, in case you missed it, we were just discussing this right here. Some few issues here and there, but mainly how to tweak your setup. And you can watch the replay. It's very simple. It's just watch the replay. I think it's the best answer. And if you guys have any questions, I would be more than happy to answer them. "30 hotspots, nice." I have 4 hotspots. Like we've been explaining the price of helium, and I compared it to the Axie Infinity here. The reason I'm comparing to Axie Infinity, it's because once helium gets utilized, which is on the move right now, announcing helium roaming partnership with Senet to connect billions of IoT devices. So once a network or a project is being utilized for what it was built for, then a helium will kind of get out of the crypto game. So once we see dips in the Bitcoin, helium will not be impacted because I have a project that is being utilized. And a good example of this, Axie Game. Axie Game, if you guys remember from the dip back in May and June, when the Bitcoin and all the crypto went down, this is This is May and June. It just went up and up and up. Nothing stopped it because people were playing the game. People were buying the SLP, which is the token for the game. People were selling the SLP. There are growing numbers of players. It boomed. It just skyrocketed. So Helium, once the Senate now started to deploy their IoTs, now the network is being utilized. And if it gets utilized, then it will have nothing to do with Bitcoin. Now I have a network. People are using my network. People are going to pay for this service. It's not a free service. And once they use the service, then the value. And I mentioned three things in case you missed it. Freedom Fi. Once you hear the news that it's already out, but once you get news that Verizon, AT&T, any of these big guys start to partner up with Freedom Fi, I don't know what can happen. IoTs will have the impact, I think, in a month or two. Also, the utilization, and there's a third one, Freedom Fi, the utilization, and the other projects that are launching on the Helium network. So I think there are about 49 projects that will use the Helium network. So all of these just add-ons to increase the value of the HNT token. Not to mention obviously the standard things, which is the burning of HNT, the staking of HNT. All of these create the scarcity of HNT, which, relatively speaking, will just increase of the value of HNT. I think HNT next move will be around 40 to 60. Can it hit 100? I would think so. I will tell you why. There are projects and people and investors, once they see this, I've seen the guy from Shark Tank. What's his name? The guy who owns the basketball team. Well, anyways, he's been following the Helium Twitter. Mark Cuban, yes, Mark Cuban is following Helium network. So that's just a clue of, yes, Mark Cuban. So Mark Cuban is following Helium, and he invests a lot here and there. So even if people are not interested in crypto, which still there are a lot of people who are not interested in crypto, but they will come into the crypto world just to come into Helium because of the business opportunity that they see in investing in this network. And again, Helium is going to be the leader when it comes to the network because MXC is not as fast as Helium. Helium next year, they're expecting 1 million hotspots to be deployed, and this year 350. And this just reflects how powerful and how strong and how fast this is deploying. So all of these are just extreme add-ons that makes me very bullish about Helium. I don't think Verizon is utilizing Freedom Fi yet. I think they're still under testing. So I think it's like when they're still testing here, like it's still at testing. So there is news that came out in the Discord yesterday. I haven't checked it, which is right here. So this was yesterday. So if you guys want to watch it, it's in episode 15 of the Hotspot is out, the 5G EP you've been waiting for. So to join to explain 5G on Helium carrier deals, new proof of coverage method, and so much more. Nearly 2 hours of content. So you can watch it, or you can probably watch my next live where I'm going to watch this and tell you the brief of all of this. So yeah, this is very interesting. So this just came out yesterday. The outcome of this podcast will help us understand where this network is going, because they're talking about the carriers. So carrier deals, new proof of coverage, everything. So there you go. Help someone send me a miner. I have to wait forever for a rack. We are waiting cash, waiting on 17 different. Unfortunately, these guys were not doing well. I think SenseCap and Bobcat Miner are good. I'm not telling you what to do because Nebras, unfortunately, nobody's happy with them. I've seen people in Discord when they wanted to update, they had problems. I like SenseCap a lot. I like Bobcat Miner. I like SenseCap because some YouTubers trying to promote Bobcats only as it's the only good one. No, I have SenseCap and I have Bobcat Miner. I actually love the customer service in SenseCap because I can show you here. So it doesn't sound like I'm. By the way, I don't do any affiliate links for any Helium hotspot, so I can be as honest and free as I want. I can talk whatever I want. So I'm not saying this is the best or that's the worst, but my experience with SenseCap was very good because I had an issue with them, and all I did was come to the Discord, and you come here and you issue a ticket, and you can see here I issued a ticket. They answered, talked back, very simple. While Nebras, a lot of people are complaining that they don't even respond. So I'm not sure. I don't have any racks, so if you're planning to buy more, I think SenseCap is they don't have the best antenna, that's for sure. The Bobcat Miner antenna is brilliant, but in anyhow, I have changed both of them, so I have all of them. I have all 5.8, and I think 5.8 is your best bet, uh, depending on your scenario. So don't take me for granted. There are so many variables that affect and impact the whole thing, right? But I have one on the 12th floor. It was Bobcat Miner, 4 DPI. I replaced it with 5.8. I would say I increased by 10%, 15%. So I'm happy with the results. So guys, there are new updates coming. This POC 11. So you need to. I'm gonna do this. I promise in the next 48 hours. So I'll explain to you what's gonna impact, but eventually it has a better impact in terms of rewards for people. Now, I have to double check on that, but I've seen the Discord. A lot of people are praising it, so I would assume it's. So yeah, guys, POC 11 is coming. So I don't know if you guys want me to cover anything else. The only advice I have for you guys is keep your HNTs. If you don't need them, keep them as long as you can. This will not stop. That's something I know. It's not a financial advice, of course, but this network is not made to be gone in a few years. Hey, do not worry about Santa Barbara. I think if she knows the game, even if you were a few months, like if you started in May, you would have earned a lot of money. Even in June, even in July. Now, starting off August, the number of first the halving hurt a lot, and then the number of deployments is huge. So yeah, if you guys watch my first video, I did it, I think, the first week of May. I was running away. I was running around some miners, and I used to see like 100 HNT, 200, 500 HNTs, I think a month or a day, but they were doing very well. Yeah, hey, yeah, don't worry about Santa Barbara. I think she, I think they're in good hands. And even now, if you guys get your, like, if you make 10 HNTs a month, that's 150 bucks or 170 bucks. In 3 months, your ROI is back. So it's still not bad. And for the announcement that was made by Helium that their expectations to have 1 million hotspots for next year, people will not buy Helium hotspots if they will not break even in 6 months, 8 months, or a year. And because lots of you just think about it from, how much I'm mining, and not, say, oh, how much my HNT will be worth in the future. So that's why I always say, do not sell your HNTs. So we're in good hands. If you guys are not in the Discord, I highly recommend that you join the Discord. You can see, if you're using your phone, if you go on this little two guys here, if you click on them, it will open and you can check out the pinned messages. So if you don't have time to, chat with people and get to know people, then you just want to check the pinned messages, what's the latest news, what's the latest updates, you can click on the pinned messages. And if you have particular question or something that you want to discuss or whatever, depending on the subject, you can go to the left side here. This is for, you go to Helium. It's called Official Helium Community. It's the blue one here. So validators announcements, general getting started, Happy Hacks Hour, hotspot issues, off-topic questions and answers, known scammers, voice text chat, 3D printing, Helium tabs, mappers, and this is another thing. Mappers is a new project. It's not new, it's just one of the strong ones. So monitors, tokenomics, testnet, POC discussion. And this is what I'm gonna cover the next video, which is POC 11, version 11. And then here's the Helium tips. If you are in a country or if you're in a city, you can check out, like I said in the beginning, there's so many channels in here that, either by country, by cities, it's very helpful. It can help you that, like Spain, if you speak Spanish and you don't speak good English, you can go to Spain. And, even if you live in Spain, then there you go. Same thing, Greece, Hungary, Croatia. There's so many tools that Helium provides, and always go to helium.com and you can check out. There are so many things to check there. Yeah, Santa Barbara, if you check the Discord, there's a new announcement for the 5G. I think you were still here, so I'll check the podcast. It should be very, very interesting. So, guys, do you need any help? Is there anything I can cover? And thank you guys so much. I got the 1,000 subscribers. Whoever knew this? I started my first video not as a joke, but it was, the main purpose was to protect people from getting scammed, from buying fake Bobcat miners, and that was it. It's because of you guys. I appreciate your support. Appreciate the 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 plus, and I don't know how I ended up doing this. So thank you. That's thanks, Santa Barbara. So, guys, if you guys need to discuss anything, I live in Portugal on music says combiner. I'm placing it indoor next to window, 24 meters far from ground. Currently, I'm connected to 40 witnesses. Transcript is online, not relayed despite all. I remember, I'm doing only 6 HNT. Is that something normal? Um, okay, let me, cooking show. I'm doing this cooking show. Okay. The if you watch this video from the beginning, it will give you a good idea. But the topography is really important when it comes to um, when it comes to the helium, how it works, the antenna. So let me see if I can get it back. So this is how to fix a relay. This is not like that. So this now. So let's assume this is like, for example, this is where I live. I live right here. I'll take this chart just as an example. And there's a mountain behind me. Okay, and this is a valley. So if I'm here and there are hotspots here, I will never be able to catch these hotspots unless I place an antenna all the way here to witness these guys. But from here, I can witness everyone here. So there are so many variables that get affected. So according to the HIP 15 and HIP 17, which are relatively about hexes, so you're saying you get 1.0, so you don't have issues with your HNT. And according to you, you place it 24 meters, that's about 8 floors. That's not bad. So I think most likely you're getting you're facing a lot of buildings. It has to, it has, like 6.5 is really low. Cooking show. Already. Cooking show. Can you send me your hotspot name? Because we have to understand there are so many variables that come into play. Now you have elevation, which is good. Use the math you can approach more than one. Oh, snake, yes. Zany sandstones bar. For snake, you're using the same IP address. So if I were you, I would start considering looking for another location, because POC 11, the proof of coverage version 11, is trying to attack this, and it's considered it's not considered healthy. So, and this will be my next video. It will be covering. It's gonna launch on the 4th of October, so you still have enough time. And I don't know how it will impact you in person, but see, cooking show. I think if you're gonna see here, there's a building most likely in here. That's blocking the array of the signal, and there's a building here, and there's a building here. See this gap? It's hitting. So tell me if I'm right or wrong. So see, you're supposed to have. Do you see all of this? Like how close these arrays? You're supposed to have them all across. Snake. I don't know. $80 is a lot. It's really up to you. But I would consider looking for friends, families, whoever that has a good location, and you can pay them pay their internet in exchange of you placing your hotspot. Yes, Nate, definitely. Yeah, you need to have. And by the way, I've read somewhere, the Snake, be careful here. I read somewhere that I'm not going to confirm this, but the POC 11 that's going to come in 10 days, it's not only going to track if you have the same IP address, but it's going to track if you are using the same provider, ISP provider. So I don't know how accurate is that, because I think it's unfair, because if I'm placing mine here and my neighbor is placing it and it's a different IP address, but he's using Rogers and I'm using Rogers, and they're going to penalize me for this. So I'm not sure this is absolutely correct, but I remember I read somewhere what looks a little bit official, like Discord or something. So that's why I need to dig a lot on this subject to give you the right information. So I advise you not to jump on alternatives and solutions until I make that video, and I promise that I'll show it in 2 days, probably less, depends on how much free time I will have. But yes, that's do not rush it. I recommend, because I'm going to talk about what type of antenna you can use and the impact of the POC 11 on the new setup. So do not rush it. Just give me a couple of days and I'll cover the whole thing for you. Santa Barbara, I'm not sure. I'm 100% sure that I read it, and I was furious because it did not make any sense, and therefore uh, I'm not confirming, and that's why I'm telling you just give me 2 days. So well, Santa Barbara, yes, like I said, it did not make sense, and it made me furious because it doesn't make sense unless they're gonna trace the IP address and the ISP both. Then you get penalized. Then that makes sense. But only the ISP, which I read, I don't think it's gonna be the right move. Why did they come up with that? I have no idea. Also, since you guys are already here, you can see that Cooking Show already has updated his antenna. In the POC 11, you will get rewarded for getting and writing down the right DPI you're using and the height. Why is this? Again, I have to read it again because I read it, I glanced, but I'm sure about this. The de facto was all of us will have 1.2 DPI, and the meters I think is 0. But they're now saying we should reward people that are doing the work and whatever, and they're buying a bigger DPI and stuff like that. So you can do that by going to the app Helium and updating your antenna. You click on your Helium, the hotspot itself, then you click on the settings, and from settings you can see the antenna, and from there you can just change it, update it. So that's something Cooking Show you can do. It will have definitely a good impact. Now, how you can get better? I think these gaps are well known for gaps. If you upgrade to 4 DPI, I think you're in Europe, right? So I think the maximum that you can use in Europe, the RF signal, and this is also I need to double check, but I'm 100%. I'm 99%. Let me find it for you. And so here, antennas, Helium tabs, antennas. Here, click on this. Click on the pinned messages. No, it's not here. Okay, general. Bye. Okay, just give me a second. Okay. So for those following the POC version 11 status and the POC discussion, you might already know this, but I learned this and wanted to share for whoever's here. From my understanding, the proof of coverage version 11 algorithm allows you to set the DPI of your antenna. You set it. It will reduce the power of your transmission. So if you're having invalid witnesses, yes, that will kind of fix it, but you might lose some transmission distance. However, that's just for the transmission side. For the receiving side, there's no nerf to high DPI antennas because that's not physically possible. You hear what you hear. Now, that's just based on my understanding of the last 24 hours of the discussion. So I think we need to go to the POC. Okay, now I'll show you exactly what I mean. Go to POC discussion. Okay, here it is. I'm not sure I can qualify person. I only reviewed the code myself. Anyway, summary. POC version 11 assumes a 1.2 DPI antenna on both the transmitter and the receiver of a beacon. Obviously, this is more often incorrect than correct. This causes two issues. The beacon signals are witnessed too strong because the 3 DPI or higher antennas result in higher RSSI. The result is invalid witness. The beacons are transmitted at illegal transmission levels. This is what I talked about, especially in the EU, because the actual installed antenna is not taken into account. So you have a higher, more powerful antenna, but it's not reflected, and that's why you need to update it. So this is it. POC version 11 fixes those issues. Actually, transmitter and receiver antenna gained and asserted on the blockchain are used to validate witness and beacons. That validation is done by calculating the free space path loss, the theoretically minimum loss the transmission over the distance between transmitter and receiver must incur. You cannot do better than that without cheating by misasserting location or antenna gain. Output power is adjusted, reduced usually to stay legal with the antenna. That's actually declared to be used. If a too low antenna gain is declared, then this is actually used. This is caught via 0.1. So that's exactly what I said. There's also once you have code run and deployed, requires there was something that they're talking about. In the US, the maximum you can use is 9 DPI, and Europe, I think it's either 3 or 4. I would assume 4 because Bobcat's is selling 4, but that's something I'm gonna need to do. Yeah, so it's 4 DPI. I think Alexander, you're right. So for cooking show, you can upgrade yours up to 4 DPI, and you still can get better results. I have the same issues. See now, you would see this because I have one in the building. The reason this is not going anywhere. Why is this going all the way here? And why is this is able to connect 1, 2, 3, 4 from the same array? It's because your hotspot is placed in the end of a building. So let's assume this is the building. So let's assume this is the building, right? So you're placing your hotspot right here, and the signal is hitting the concrete, and it's coming out, and it's getting 1 and 2. It cannot go further, or I would say 1 and 2. Now, for in my case, I put 5.8 dpi, and I was able to get a little bit more. So don't get the 5.8 because it's not allowed. Just get the 4 dpi. I think you'll have better results for sure. Also, make sure that you try to place your antenna as high as possible on your window. And I do that by just taking it all the way up. Where's my antenna? It's not here today. So I put it all the way up, right on top of the window, and I tape it. I just tape it. Or you can buy from Amazon windshield mobile holders. They do the job. So elevation can make a difference. So elevation and DPI for Europe, 4.0 DPI will do magic. I personally like the ones that comes with Bobcat Miner. Is very strong. So you might find people that are selling stock antennas of their Bobcat Miner if they have upgraded to 7 or 8. So that's another way to look. So guys, if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer. If not, I'll let you go. So again, thank you guys so much for the subscriptions and the support. I'd say this is a great challenge for me. I've never thought I'll do a video or go show my face. It's not that easy, trust me. And learning how to set up and edit, my God. If you guys been following me from the beginning, you've seen me. I had problems with mics. I had problems with editing. I had problems with, you name it. Till today, whenever I make a video, my stomach just gets burned, man. So thank you for the support. Subscribe to support the channel, and I'll give you more brief about the POC 11 in the next 2 days and how it will impact us, supposedly in a very positive way. Now they're saying if it's going to have a negative impact, they can either downgrade back to POC 10 or they can upgrade it to POC 12. There's always room to edit and test and try and test and fix things. So you should not be worried if things don't go well right away. Thanks, Alexander. Appreciate it, my friend. So guys, we'll see you in the next 2 days with the POC 11 updates. From my side, I appreciate the support and thank you so much, and we'll see you next. Do you do side work like removing relays, troubleshooting? Are you asking me, Chip Dog? I'll be more than happy to help. I have a Telegram group. It's really small, but we kind of just chat about Helium cryptos. If you'd like to join, I'll be more than happy. I'll send you the link right now. My God, where's the Telegram? All right, my man, Chip Dog. You were one of the first subscribers. Anyone can join as long as it's not a scammer. And I've been very blessed with this channel because I've seen a lot of people there. See here, this. I've only had quality people, to be honest. Like I didn't even have one bad incident. Like maybe a small one, but overall, it's been a good journey, and it's all because of the support of the YouTube subscribers. Love you guys. So let me just grab the link. Okay, this is it. Here we go. I'm keeping this Telegram private because you know how Telegram is. There are so many scammers, so many BS. So I try to just keep us secure, keep us, healthy and just nice, no worries, no BS at all. So yeah, guys, just feel free. I'm gonna keep this for a few minutes because if I quit now, the Telegram will go away. So I'll keep it for you guys so you can join. Mm-hmm. It's really nice. Just a friendly environment. We just talk. I try to help as much as I can. I hope Bob Swap can join. He's very good with antennas, so he knows his stuff and he can give us some insight. Hi, Slim. How are you, bro? So, guys, yes, you can join us with the Telegram. And Slim, if you have any questions, I know I think you just joined in or something. I don't know how to do this, but if you guys missed it, you can watch this again. If you want to have some specific questions, you can join the Telegram group. It's mine. It's small. It's friendly. It's no hyping, no nothing. So just the normal human life that we all like to seek. All right, Chip Dog. So, guys, in the next 2 days, we're going to talk about the POC 11. I'm going to dig more into it, check with the team. I'm going to talk about the 5G. I'm going to watch the podcast, and I'm looking forward for that video. It's really important that you guys keep up with the POC 11 because some of you have 2 hotspots on the same IP address. That's going to impact you. The type of antenna, you need to upgrade your antenna in your Helium app. You need to type what type of antenna you're using and the height. This should have a good impact on your rewards. At least that's what they're claiming. Slim, there is a link right on top of you. The first message you messaged me, there's a link that I put there. So you can join there. Do you see it? I can paste it again. Yeah. There you go. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna check the Telegram. All right, Slim, I see you there. So yes, okay, we'll see you then in the Telegram. Appreciate it all, and thank you for the subscriptions and support throughout the journey. and we'll see you. Take care.